Welcome to XIO Voice. Continuing from the previous episode 159. In that case, let's make a trip to Yi City. It is best that we resolve the issue of the woeful poison body as soon as possible. If none of you have any objections, we will head out now. What do you say? Xiao Yan was unable to say anything more after hearing Shin Lan plea. He nodded and made his decision. After which, he turned his head to Tian Huo Zun Jie and the little fairy doctor and asked them what they thought. The little fairy doctor naturally had no objections to this. After some deep thinking, Tian Huo Zun Jie also nodded. He said, after advancing to a Do Zun, I am already able to continuously absorb the natural energy and turn it into Do Qi in my body. I can also train while traveling. It is not a problem to start moving now. Xiao Yan smiled when he saw they were both in agreement. He immediately walked out of the Fallen God Valley. Tian Huo Zun Jie and the others quickly followed from behind. After 2 days of traveling, Xiao Yan's group gradually approached the exit of the Fallen God Stream. The human traffic gradually increased. For safety's sake, Xiao Yan's group put on dupangs to hide their appearance. From what Shin Lan had said, the Ice River Valley had issued a wanted order for all of them. Although they might not be afraid, it would still be a little troublesome if they were exposed. Currently, Xiao Yan was thinking of resolving the little fairy doctor's woeful poison body issue. It was naturally best if these problems did not appear. The entrance of the Fallen God Stream was still filled with the sea humans. It was not reduced because of the flow of time. It seemed that there was still a countless number of people attracted by the sky-high reward that the Ice River Valley offered. However, the current Fallen God Stream no longer had a single Ice River Valley personal standing guard. Perhaps this was because of Tian Shi's group being completely defeated. Hence, Xiao Yan's group did not meet with even the slightest obstacle, and they successfully walked out of the Fallen God Stream. After which, they found a deserted area and hurried to Yi City from there. The Fallen God Stream was not far from Yi City. With the speed of Xiao Yan's group, they reached this lush, green city, situated on some plains, within half a day. The few of them landed in the city, but did not stay for long. With Shin Lan leading them, they hurried to the Yi clan manor in the middle of the city. Around 10 minutes later, Xiao Yan's group arrived at the front door of the Yi clan. At this moment, the main door of the Yi clan was opened. The thing that surprised Xiao Yan's group was that there was not a single guard at the entrance. Moreover, the thick door showed signs of being broken. Shin Lan's expression involuntarily changed when she saw the damaged door. After which, she increased her speed and charged in. Xiao Yan spread his hands behind him. This scene clearly represented that something bad had happened. It was unexpected that the Yi clan had fallen into such a state. Currently, Xiao Yan was not wearing a dupang. However, he had once again put on the skin-like object that could change his appearance, causing him to appear slightly different. Xiao Yan led the little fairy doctor and Tian Huo Zun Jie as they slowly walked into the Yi clan. After which, they followed a small rock path and headed toward the interior. This walk continued for a couple of minutes before a large hall appeared in front of the three of them. Some furious cries were vaguely being transmitted from within. Indeed, a clan that has been inherited over generations has declined until such an extent. Now, others barge into their manor and act as they pleased. Would the ancestors of the Yi clan leap out of their graves if they become aware of this? Xiao Yan involuntarily shook his head when he heard the furious cry that was emitted from within the hall. He felt somewhat sad for this Yi clan. A great clan that had once been extremely prominent had actually been turned into such a state. It really gave one the feeling that people change. Shin Lan was currently standing outside of the door. Her pretty face was green with fury as she looked into the hall. Her lovely figure trembled slightly due to her fury. Xiao Yan led the little fairy doctor and Tian Huo Zun Jie up to Shin Lan. He leaned against the door and looked at the interior of the hall. At this moment, the large hall was a complete mess. All the members of the Yi clan Xiao Yan had met back then were there. However, these people's faces were filled with an angry green color at this moment. There was a green-clothed person wailing and rolling all over the ground in front of them. One could tell that he was a member of the Yi clan from his clothes. The other side of the members of the Yi clan was a group of people in black clothes. The aura of this group of people was quite strong. Clearly, they were not weaklings. Moreover, Xiao Yan was surprised to find that the two shady-faced black-robed elders leading them had reached the strength of 6-star Do Zongs. Moreover, From the majestic Do Qi undulating around them, it was likely that these two people were at the peak of the 6-star Do Zong class. They were a little stronger when compared to the first elder of the Yi clan, who was Shin Lan's grandfather. Who are they? Xiao Yan randomly asked. They are people from the Black Fire sect and could be considered a strong faction within this Peril region. Their sect is located quite close to Yi City and has been coveting after the Yi City for some time. It is unexpected that they dared to barge in. Shin Lan tightly clenched her fist. Her low voice contained a fury that she could not suppress. The two old fellows at the front are the Black Demon Twin Evil. They are extremely strong and have quite a fierce reputation. Even grandfather is not match for either one of them. Xiao Yan slightly nodded. This was the first time he had heard of the Black Fire sect. However, the strength of these two old fellows was indeed great. The peak of a 6-star Do Zong. They were a little stronger than Bing Fu from the Ice River Valley. This central plains was indeed filled with experts. If an expert of such a level was placed in the Black Corner region, he would, at the very least, be an overlord. Zhao He, Qin Mo, your Black Fire sect should not be overboard. My Yi clan might no longer have the glory of its past, but if we were to really fight with your Black Fire sect, it will not benefit you in any way. The green-clothed, old man in the large hall was furious as he angrily shouted. He, Yi Zhang. You need to bluff in the front of the two of us. Your current Yi clan no longer possess the qualification to continue being called one of the 5 great clans of the Peril region. One of the leading black-clothed elders faintly laughed when he heard this before ridiculing Yi Zhang. This time around, the two of us have come to incorporate your Yi clan under us by the orders of the sect leader. If you surrender, our Black Fire sect will not treat all of you shabbily. You will still have a place to survive in this Yi clan. If you do not obey, you should all be aware of the tactics of my Black Fire sect. The other shady-faced elder laughed and spoke with a hoarse voice. In your dreams. The faces of all the members from the Yi clan were filled with anger when these words were spoken. Yi Zhang widened his eyes and furiously cried out. Boom boom! Yi Zhang's cry had just sounded when numerous black shadows suddenly rushed out of the hands of the two black-clothed elders. After which, they landed in the large hall while emitting boom boom sounds. Everyone's expression instantly became furiously green when they saw this because the black shadows were dark black coffins. Please accept these coffins if you do not wish to obey. The shady-looking black-clothed old man smiled densely toward Yi Zhang. A cold, majestic aura slowly spread out of his body. After which, a roar sounded within this large hall, causing some of the weaker Yi clan's members to turn a little pale. Xiao Yan continued to remain by the door. He narrowed his eyes and watched the show that was playing out within the hall. This Black Fire sect really did not show any mercy when they act. He counted the number of coffins and found that there was one more than the number of Yi clan members currently in the hall. That extra coffin was perhaps prepared for Shin Lan. It was just that these people were unaware that Shin Lan had been following beside Xiao Yan during these few days. Shin Lan by the side tightly clenched her hand. Her lovely body trembled due to her fury. A moment later, her expression suddenly dimmed. She was unable to do anything with her current strength. Big brother Xiao Yan, please help the Yi clan, will you? Shin Lan is willing to do anything as long as the clan is well. Xiao Yan, who had tilted his head, was suddenly startled. He turned his head and looked at the blue-clothed girl, who had lowered her head. Her eyes were red as she bit her lower red lip. Xiao Yan softly sighed when he saw her. Relax, it is not as though this is the first day that you have been acquainted with him. Don't you know what his character is like? The little fairy doctor involuntarily shook her head with pity, and she softly comforted with a smile after seeing Shin Lan's appearance. Since I have already given you my word, I will naturally help you. At this moment, Yi Zhang in the large hall was greatly shaken by this ruthless act of the Black Fire sect. He looked at those coffins with a cold luster in his eyes as a desolate feeling surged onto his face. Had the once prominent Yi clan reached such a stage in his hands? Hand over Yi City and the Sun Fire ancient altar of the Yi clan. My Black Fire sect does not wish to do something so ruthless. I shall give you 5 minutes to think it over. The lives of all the young and old in the Yi clan will be determined by your decision. The black-clothed, old man smiled in a sinister manner while he slowly threatened Yi Zhang. Yi Zhang's face slightly twitched upon hearing this. His entire body trembled. With the current strength of the Black Fire sect, it was very difficult for the Yi clan to continue fighting with them. The atmosphere within the large hall had become extremely pressurizing because of Yi Zhong's silence. These 5 minutes swiftly passed by in silence. The dense smile of the two black-clothed, old men slowly widened when the 5 minutes was up. Surging energy gradually gathered in their palms. Yi Zhong, you are the one who seeks such an ending. Do not blame the two of us. Oh! A soft sigh finally sounded from outside of the door just as killing intent surged out of these two black-clothed, old men. The two of them were startled, and they suddenly turned around, only to see a young man leaning against the door. Their eyes turned cold and a curse was spat from their mouths. Get lost! The young man ignored them. He moved his feet and slowly walked into the large hall. A calm, soft voice slowly sounded like a wave of water. 1 minute. Bring the coffins with you and get out of Yi City. Otherwise, you can remain here.